Most team games are strange because there's always someone going to try and replace you, and you have to, so you have to keep on top of your game as much as you got to like them. You've also got to think you're better than them, and that's the thing. I remember Kevin saying to me, "I'm going to buy loads of players on this journey," and said, "It's up to you to keep up."
Welcome to another episode of Pints of You with me, Gary Goldsmith, here in my local pub, the Cavendish in Marylebone. Now, I've just heard today that I got cancelled from doing I'm a Celebrity, because apparently I'm not a celebrity, just related to one. But Nigel Farage, who also drinks, and they got in. It could have been brilliant. Today, do you know what? I just needed to vent that. There was no reason for that coming out at all. Now, today, I'm joined by a mate of some 25.
Oh God, is it that long?
I don't know. When every time it's the phone, you used to call me your lordship. I'm joined by the football legend, and in terms of legend is a word that's overused, a true great of the game, Mr. Rob Lee. Thank you, Rob, for coming. Cheers.
No worries, mate.
Welcome to Pints of You.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Brilliant. Now, I'm guessing we might have struggled to get you here if it was Newcastle, but you made the effort for me.
I do always make the effort for you. And by the way, you would be really good on I'm a Celebrity. I would tune in again. Oh. I might ring Ant and Deck, get you on.
Oh, well, you'd know him as well. Newcastle.
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do.
So I decorated the room for you because I know deep down you're actually a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, no, I'm not at all. No.
Okay.
And it's certainly not the way they're playing at the moment.
Absolute dog shit, isn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't profess to be a Chelsea fan at the moment.
Okay.
That's
right. Now, because there's so many things that we're going to talk about today because I know you so well, so it's going to be quite fun. And we've got, so I've already met with Sil,
yes,
who added loads of value, and this afternoon it's John's coming down as well.
Oh, Johnny Morris.
Yes, so that's going to be loads of fun.
Well, I was sitting on that one.
Yeah, we're talking about his dog Ronnie.
Oh, God. Yeah, show you some pictures.
Which is all he talks about now. Right, so as with always, I've written you a poem. Excellent. Which is the way that we start this. The whole concept of is me with a mate in a pub talking shit, so you can be your natural self. Trevor Stephen basically said, "I don't really care anymore, fuck 'em," and just basically dished the dirt. So please crack on.
Perfect.
Right, so you ready for a poem?
Go.
In black and white, he took the stage, a footballer ace with skills and a big wage. Well, it's all changed now.
I had skill, but
okay,
I'm not sure that's a big
From
wage.
England's team to Geordie pride, Rob Lee's prowess none could hide. A midfield maestro, a true delight. His passes flowed like a bird's flight. It was a rhyming issue on that one, I'll be honest with you. With every touch, the crowd would cheer. For Rob Lee's presence, it was oh so clear. He wore 3 lions, that badge of might, in England's colours, pure and bright. Through battles fierce, he'd never yield. Rob's determination was a shield. St James's Park, his hallowed ground, his loyalty, his legend found. A football journey rich and grand, Rob Lee's legacy. It says in the sand. I went, here to stand would be better. In the sand, it could get washed away. Yeah. In England and in ex-England and Newcastle's gem, a football tale, a precious hen. Now, apparently, hen is something to do with like something that you repeat over and over and over, and actually means something.
Oh, sure. It's that posh word.
Shit, that. With every match, a mark he'd leave. Check me on the shins. Rob Lee's name forever cleaves. Sir, I'm absolutely delighted to have you here. You've made the effort. Thank you very much. I'm going to give myself a strong 4.
Really?
That wasn't even worth that.
No, it's not worth a 4.
Brilliant.
No,
cheers again, mate. Thank you for coming.
I love that cheer, but it's entirely for Rob, not that shit poem.
It's not the best poem I've ever heard. I hope Johnny Morris is better.
Well, he's family, so I put effort into that one. Mate, the things we can talk about today. Bobby Robson getting names wrong. Kevin, who you dote upon.
Yes.
Which one's better? So a great chat about that. Starting your career at West Ham and then filling the circle.
Yes.
And I got involved in that one. Thank you very much for that. That was literally the only time as a football agent I didn't lose money. Cheers, Rob.
Yeah, G-Money again.
And G-Money, thank you. So your football journey, England, Newcastle worship and how the fans treat football up there, it's just different, right? Toluda's just been up there to Newcastle. It's the only place in the world I've seen in the middle of winter, mums, dads, daughters, young boys, all literally wearing full kit, walking to the match. It's like, it was just nuts. The game of today in football, where it stands, the game of tomorrow, the best player you've ever played with, your England journey, and shall we throw out a few bits?
How long we got?
Yeah, no, sin bins. Why don't we have sin bins as yellow card? Because I think it would really make the game way more interesting. VAR.
Massive shout out to James Connors, Honor, Quetzal, Cutesal, who knows, as our main sponsors for season 2 of Pints of You. Now, Quetzal, guys company through the busy marketplace, helping businesses buy the technology that is aligned with their strategies. No more buying tech to keep up with the Joneses, having a plan that makes it your ownses. We love what they're doing, especially with the telephony stuff at the moment. So, cheers, buddy. Really appreciate it. Use them.
Where should we start? Should we start with you starting in football? Did you know you were good at football from the get-go?
I was okay. I was all right. I wasn't exceptional. I used to play against Tony Cotty. He was a year older than me, and I played for Pegasus. He played for Romford Royals, and he was a good player. I mean, they used to beat us 10-0, and he'd score 9. I still see him now. Still remind him of that. There were certain players that were really good around there. Tony Adams. A year younger than me, he was known to be.
Was he a big unit back then?
Yeah, and a bloody good player. Do you know what I mean? So no, I wasn't known. I didn't play for any level of. I didn't play for Essex, my county. I didn't play for England at any level. I was just probably a late developer, really. I was at West Ham as a kid. Didn't really like it. There was just too many kids there. Just throw a blanket over everybody and take as many as you can. Bit what Chelsea do now, and your team do that. So.
We need to spend a bit more money. That's the irony.
Maybe they should go for a few youngsters.
Yeah.
And then I had Spurs for a few weeks, a few months, I think it was, and then I got released for being too small. And then I just went back and started playing football.
So do you think that? I mean, but I love that. I got sacked from my first job in recruitment, and actually recruitment looked after me for my entire life. Do you really think that opportunity is afforded to the kids of today? Because it looks like in, out, shafted, gone. And then they disappear off the face of the earth. But, I mean, you must have some resilience to have kept going when it's kind of knockbabs, setbacks,
I think it's... academy systems is okay. It's a way of doing things that it never was there when I was there. My son, Ollie, who's just had to retire from football, he does the academy full-time at Spurs. When I was actually there, watched them yesterday at Gillingham. Pissed down with rain, but... I mean, they've got a fantastic training ground, but again, the academy, they sort of like, if they don't make it in the academies, they try and teach them to play this tippy-tappy football, and if they don't make it and they have to go down the leagues, it's very, very tough for them, and they have to be
The tippy-tappy doesn't make it in Division 3, does it?
And I told that to my sons, and both my sons started at West Ham, both had to go, Ollie was on loan at Dagenham, Elliot went on loan to both of them went on loan quite a few clubs, and I said to you, you have to adjust. You're not in the, you're not in the Premier League sort of doldrums of playing in these academies and under 23s, and there's no reserve team. When I played, I learnt my trade playing reserve team football against ex-players that were injured or coming back or out of favour.
It's cold, isn't it?
The shit out of you, and that's how you learn. There should be reserve leagues, but how do you get these superstars of
to be asked?
Yeah, to play in these games.
But you mentioned Elliot, who's at Wrexham now.
Yeah.
I mean, Hollywood football. Is he having fun?
Oh, he's loving it. Yeah, he's loving it. It was at Charlton the season before last, and on loan from Luton, and had done well at Charlton. Was sort of like he had a few clubs wanting him because he was out of contract at Luton, and I just said to him, I knew Ryan Reynolds was his favourite actor, and I said, well, imagine if they come in for you, what would you do? And he went, I'm not going down to the National League. I can't. And then his agent rang me up and just said, Wrexham have come in for him. He said, what do you reckon? I said, you got to tell him. You have to tell him. So told him, and Phil Parkinson was pestered him. I mean, he rang him every few days, the manager at Wrexham. And then, he sort of like, he's took a chance and gone down there, and it's just gone from strength to strength.
So do you reckon it's real? Do you reckon their involvement in the club and it from the outside looks like they've got a real passion for it?
They have. It's not a put on it. I've met them a couple of times with Elliot, and they're you know. I said to Elliot, I said, I've had some good owners in my time, some big clubs, but I've never had the owner ringing me after games and texting me after games, and he gets that from Ryan Reynolds and
shut up.
And Rob and Ryan's brother. He texts him. So I said enjoy it, because I've never had that. I've never had Newcastle. I've never had the owners ringing me saying how well you played and how good you are. But maybe it's the way we change. Maybe, but they're just massively into the community. That the club reminds me of Newcastle in a smaller way. The fact that they've got great owners, got a great manager. The club's going in the right direction. They're building a new stand. The community is sort of like it's just a club that's on the up. And it's really exciting. It's exciting,
right? Because I was supposed to be going to the Wimbledon FC, first game of the season. I couldn't get that, I got stuck in Ibiza. And everyone was saying, do you want to come down and see the Wrexham game? Now, these are guys who are serious shareholders at Spurs. And they were more excited about that than the first game at Spurs.
Honestly, they get... they sell so many shirts to America. They get people visiting. There's a pub called the Turf right by the ground. They get people from America, from Canada, from Australia. All because of these guys, they're so into their football. They don't, and the thing I like about them is they don't know loads about it, and they admit it.
Well, into the scoring corner.
Yeah, it is, and they'll sort of like they'll take the piss out of themselves. You see all their videos, and they just take the piss out of themselves.
That's brilliant.
And we live in a world where you can't take the piss out of anything, but they take the piss out of themselves, and I like that about people.
Well, do you know what? If you think about it, football started as an entertainment, right? The reason why we play 3 o'clock is because that's the time they used to shut the factories, so that everyone could actually just go factory against factory, town against town, and that's how the Football League basically originated.
You know what?
It's an entertainment.
Keegan, when we played Keegan, he used to say to us, and he said, "Listen, go out and entertain the crowd." He said, and he used to say it's an entertainment. He said, "Entertain people."
Right, I've got something to remind you. We've got the greatest team in the land. We got Beasley and Lee and Ferdinand and Ginola. Now, I always thought that was a great song. Why didn't they mention Shearer, or if I got it wrong?
Shearer was later.
Oh,
that's
okay. Well,
that's why he came a couple of he came the year later. He came the year later.
I thought it was the best football song of all time. It was.
There are some fantastic songs. How they make these songs up? Like in as soon as someone signs or something happens in the press or something, they just make these. They make these songs.
I got some very dodgy things yesterday about Schwimmer, non-Schwimmer. So some of it's funny, but some of it's very inappropriate if you're a Friends fan. So
I'm a massive Friends fan. So keep it to yourself.
Yeah, leave that one out there.
Huge Friends
right, let's just go back to the original story, Charlton, right? Because if everyone says about you, it's kind of.
My family support Charlton, so I've got to show them love.
Oh, there you go. See,
right.
You'd be surprised how many people support Charlton.
Yeah, both of you. Yeah. They're not coming down today. Only one pie. So it's Charlton, Newcastle, England. That's how most people remember you, I think.
Yeah, probably less so at Charlton because of probably the Premier League. It's if anything before the Premier League never existed. I heard Gary Lineker and Alan talking the other day about goals.
Yesterday it didn't exist before him.
Yeah, and they don't count Peter Beers' goals. With his Newcastle goals, so now Callum Wilson's got above him in goals. But so anything before the Premier League doesn't exist. So. My days at Charlton really don't exist, really.
Oh, I leave it alone then.
No, it's formative,
I was there
8 years. Yeah, I loved it there.
But 8 years is a career these days.
My dad's a huge fan of Charlton. He worked there. I worked on the turnstiles for a few games when I wasn't playing. So, a great affiliation with my family. I loved it there. And people say, "Why didn't you leave earlier?" Well, because I liked it.
Well, so that's a reason probably why Elliot was hanging around with Wrexham for a bit. Because he's enjoying it.
I hope he does. Yeah, I hope he's he's on a 3-year contract. He's halfway through it, and there's nothing more than I'd like him to see get Wrexham as high up as he possibly can. That's what he done it with Luton. Both my sons played with Luton for a year together. But Elliot went from. They won the second division. The next day they won the first. And they're in the championship. So that's what he wants to do with Wrexham, and there's no reason why he can't do that.
I always like Luton because I really like their kit.
You like a bit of orange.
I like a bit of orange. They've always got a decent kit. Who was it who came in for you to go to Newcastle?
Well, originally it was Lenny Lawrence. So Lenny Lawrence was my manager at Charlton for the whole of the time that I was there. Simon as a 7-year-old, he left for Middlesbrough probably after 7 years. He'd done really well at Charlton, got promoted. We had no ground. Our ground was gone, and we managed, would you believe, to get up into the First Division Premier League. Stayed up there, got relegated, got back. So he'd done an unbelievably good job, and then Middlesbrough came in for him. And this was the start. This was '92. This was the start of the Premier League. So Middlesbrough in the Premier League, first year of the Premier League, and they came in for me. And I went up there and I met him, but it was raining when I got up there. It was grey. It was horrible. And I went to Ayresome Park, not the greatest ground in the world.
So this is Middlesbrough.
Yeah, so this is Middlesbrough.
There is a black cloud over Middlesbrough. It's always there, isn't it?
I think I saw it. Yeah, I think I saw it. I think I flew into it.
But they're Brazilians.
No, not then. No,
Emerson
all before that. That was all before that. So this is the first season that's in the Premier League. But I knew a few of their players. Andy Peake, I knew because he'd signed from Charlton. Alan Kernigan, who'd been on loan at Charlton, was there. Robbie Mustoe, I knew. So there was quite a few I knew. But I just started. I knew West Ham wanted me, so I could. For Alan Kirbishley. Alan Kirbishley was our manager at Charlton at the time, and I knew he told me that Billy Bonds was interested in me, and also because we played our games at Upton Park, we owed him a shitload of rent. So I was sort of like going to pay for that. I think I was a bit of a rent boy. I think in those days.
No, that's Chelsea.
Oh yeah,
that's definitely Chelsea.
Right. So I thought, well, I'm going to wait for West Ham, and I'm not going north. It's cold. And then got back home from Middlesbrough. Curbs rang me, said, "What are you doing?" I said, "No, I'm not going to Middlesbrough." And he said, Kevin Keegan's coming for you. So I thought he was playing golf in Marbella still, but he wasn't. He was at Newcastle, which I found out later was further north. So, but he was my hero. I mean. It's the phone call. Kevin wants to speak to her, and I said to Alan Kirsch, "I'm not going." Well, he just wants to speak to you. Well, I ain't going. He said he can speak to her. And then Terry McDermott is number 2 rung me for, and Terry was another one of mine. I was a West Ham fan as a kid because I grew up there, but I the Liverpool team of the 70s.
You can't change your team.
Well, yeah, but some people do, but not because I've done it because I played for them or because I had this thing about
female presenters.
Yeah, maybe
you're touching on.
Maybe, yeah. Well, I didn't go to loads of West Ham. All my mates are West Ham fans, but I never went because I played, so I didn't get the opportunity to go to many games at all at West Ham. So I was a fan because I was born in the area. I still follow them now, but just because they're my local team. But then I just had this thing about Kevin Keegan, Terry McDermott, that 70s team of Liverpool. I loved. I had pictures of them on my wall. To have Terry McDermott, who's I regard as one of the best midfielders ever. I mean, he was an unbelievable midfield player.
Yeah.
To have him ring me up, say I want you to come to Newcastle, and Kevin wants to speak to you, and then 5 minutes later, Kevin Keegan ring me up. It was just.
Was that a big money move?
It was £700,000 was the fee. So if we went to Middlesbrough, if I went to
so it's a watching the weekend away.
It was basically for you, for you, those days. But no, that was the fee. Whether I went to Barcelona, whether I went to anybody, it was 700 grand because they needed 700 grand basically to get back to the Valley, which is Charlton's ground.
Yeah.
So that was the fee. They needed the money. I wanted to test myself at a higher level. So I was then sold to Newcastle for 700.
So did you think that move for you was as big as it was going to be for you? Because it feels to me that was the move that kind of just elevated you more and more into the public domain.
I think it's the move that made I joined the right team at the right time with the right manager for me. That everything.
But he loved you,
fell
didn't
into
he?
place. Yeah, everything fell into place. It just it was perfect.
No, I ate out and said that Kevin Keegan once said of you, "Your best players in the world," but apparently he was the best midfield player in England.
Best midfield in the Premier League. Yeah, but you do put legs on things.
I
don't mind those legs.
I'm more than willing to lie. It's actually, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Hola and thank you to Camino Partners for sponsoring Pints of View Series 2. Now, Camino Partners are the ultimate staffing providers for UK and European recruitment back office talent. That includes finance, marketing and everything in between. They own the scene between the scene. Also, Harry Houston doing the consultancy piece. Big fan. There is a link in the normal show notes as ever. Call them, we love them. And Sachin, thank you, mate.
But you were absolutely phenomenal then, and what an engine on you.
Yeah, listen, I went there as a right midfielder, but I always wanted to play in the centre. I always wanted to do it. But obviously Kevin signed me as a right-sided midfield player. Done it for a year, maybe two. I think we got in the Premier League. We got promoted first. We won the first 11 games in the Championship. Got promoted. Was still playing on the right side, and then he bought Royal Fox, and I went in the middle, and then from then on, it just catapulted really. I remember Kevin saying to me, "Listen, you could be here for a long time." He said, after a couple of weeks, he said, "You'll play for England." I'm a right winger from Charlton.
How old were you then?
I was 25, 26. So it was late. I didn't play for England until I was 28. But he said after a couple of weeks, "You're going to play for England." I just thought, mad. Geezer's mad. You know what I mean? And it was true. It was true. It was right.
Kevin was a really bright guy, right? So when he went to Hamburg, he changed football, didn't he? He basically got a share of the gate as part of his signing on bonus.
Well, Kevin was the first superstar. The people, depending on what era you lived in, David Beckham was probably the superstar of some people. Lionel Messi nowadays, Ronaldo. But he was the first superstar of going, I'm going to go abroad, I'm going to learn different language, I'm going to, as you say, do different things through gate money, and he was the first major superstar when I was growing up. That's was my, and people say never meet your heroes. Matt Letizia, I played with England, his hero was Glenn Hoddle, and him and Glenn hated each other, so so I was always telling never meet your heroes, they'll always let you down, but because you put them on such a high pedestal, when you meet them, it's a bit of a, but he was everything that I thought he would be. He the way he spoke to you, the way he acted, the way that he joked around, he was everything I thought he would be, and I just, from the word go, I just loved being around him.
If we beat them, I love it if we beat them. But I mean, that was a classic moment in time, wasn't it?
I did it a lot. People thought that was, the one of the rant he had over.
Do you know what? I bet nobody, you don't even know what I'm talking about, do you?
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
He's young enough.
Yeah, it was a proper little moment in football where nobody had actually called out somebody for not playing properly against his competitor.
Well, it was Ferguson calling out, people for not playing. We played Leeds, beat Leeds, I think it was, and I think he called out saying Leeds didn't try hard enough against Newcastle. They tried hard against Man United. Then we was playing in Stuart Pearce's testimonial, and we had played Forest, and something about Pearce's testimony. They won't try, and Forest actually drew with us, which killed us a little bit as well. So it was proved wrong. But he had the rant, but Keegan sort of he always wore his heart on his sleeve, and he always said what he wanted to say. So we were used to that. He used to say it all the time. It didn't bother us.
So that Kevin better than 99% of the people in the world. Newcastle, then he basically drifted off. I don't remember. Did he go to overseas? Go to Europe?
Who, Kevin?
Yeah.
Oh, well, listen. He left Newcastle when he left. We never recovered. Newcastle never recovered, from my opinion, until now. From the moment he left, he was there 5 years with him. We just bought Alan Shearer. He persuaded David Ginola not to go to Barcelona, I think it was. We just almost pipped. Man United pipped us to the league. We were 12 points clear at Christmas, but we got beat. And then, how do we
bounce back
and beat them next season? We bought Alan Shearer for 15 million. So we thought, wow. Now we kept the same team. All we done was bought Alan. Now we've got Alan Shearer and Les Ferdinand up front. We've got Peter Beers, we've got Tino Esprit, we've got Keith Gillespie, we've got David Ginola, David Batty. We've got all these players. So we're going to challenge them. We're going to challenge them. But he left, halfway through the season. We're playing for what wasn't football reasons. So we were still in all the cups. We were still fifth in the league. We had games in hand because we were playing playing in Europe, playing all the cup games still. We actually got to the cup final that year without him, but. And we were and he left for non-footballing reasons. So it wasn't we were playing crap at the bottom of the league, like 99% of managers go because the team's not playing well. That's why they don't go. That's why they leave their clubs, they get sacked. He wasn't. His was something to do with what was going on the stock exchange with the club being floated, and that was Kevin. That was they wanted him to sign a 10-year contract. He didn't want to sign it. It was totally. We didn't have a bad team. We had a great team, but he left. You speak to Alan, speak to David, but Alan signed 4 months before So he persuaded David United 4 months before,
and then he's gone.
And they've gone. So they were a bit pissed off, to be fair, if I'm being brutally honest.
Yeah, well, but you know, it's nice having an emotive manager who's running up and down the touchline. It really matters to, but it does mean that they can also be a bit slightly flighty.
If you spoke to him now, would he regret leaving at that stage? I would hope he would. I've never asked him the question because I see him very rarely at dues and stuff. I've never, do you regret leaving? Because I think if he'd have stayed, we'd have won.
Yeah.
We'd have won something that year, and the club would have pushed on like Manchester United did when Fergie was almost out. I think they played in the cup, and Mark Robbins scored in the cup game. Otherwise, he was gone.
I've got a lot of Newcastle mates. That Sean Wadsworth, who ran Nigel Frank, is a massive.
No, Sean. Yeah, of course you do. I've had a few wines with him before.
So walks. We'll leave that there. So it's you got almost there, then it all just went away. But what a manager you picked up did it go straight to Bobby after that?
No, we went to, I think to appease Alan, but he was a very good manager. Kenny Dalglish came in.
Of course.
So Kenny came in for only a season a bit, but I thought at the time, great signing, brilliant. They won the championship with Liverpool, won with Blackburn, got on very well with our new, obviously Alan. But it just, for whatever reason, the players they brought in to replace the players, it didn't need, in my opinion, you didn't need to replace any of the players at that time. You just need to tweak it a little bit, maybe tweak a few things in defence to make it more defence. And I thought that's what he would do. But it just seemed to break the team up, whether he thought it wasn't Kevin's team, it was Kevin's team. And
I think Kevin was of the people. I think Kenny's a much stronger Scot.
I got on great with Kenny. Kenny made me captain. I was captain when he arrived. Kevin made me captain when Peter wasn't playing, and so he made me captain. So I got on fantastically well with Kenny. So I was, he took us to the first cup final in that season. So I got on very, very well with him. I'm sorry to see him go.
I met him in La Manga, and the guy his knowledge of football was just ridiculous. And I ended up doing press-ups in front of him with my mates because we were doing a quiz, and he was giving us quiz questions, and whoever got them wrong had to do press-ups.
You know what?
It was really good.
Kenny's got a great sense of humour. People don't see that because he was all very dour on. You'd be like Alan, really. Alan's got the same sort of, this thing on telly and stuff is all very dour, but they're got a great sense of humour, both of them.
Oh, I know some stories about. We'll leave that there. I getting a tray of beers, standing on the table in an Indian with a broomstick, holding there, and then try and get one of the rookies.
I did it.
Oh, you did it.
So he done. He did it to you. It's like a tray like this. Yeah. So basically, you put pints of beer on it and you hold it up. The thing is, you get someone to hold it, and then he goes away. So just hold this for a second. It's against the ceiling, and then he goes away, and then obviously someone's holding it like that.
You can't go.
But he done it on me, and I was pissed as a fart. We're all pissed in a nice restaurant in Durham. Never invited us back, but it's all like. So I've just fuck it. I just left it, and I just fucking let it the whole thing just flew over this wreck, and he's you meant to hold it there, and I said, fuck that, I'm not holding it there.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I just let it all go, and
but you're great mates with that, aren't you?
Yeah, we're good friends. Yeah, we're good friends. We've got the same sort of sense of humour. We've got our wives and our kids get on well. We still see each other. So we're good friends. Yeah,
that's brilliant. What let's do some more controversial stuff. Oh no, actually, let's talk about Bobby. I met Bobby once we're in Lisbon. He was managing a sport in Lisbon, and he was really good fun because it was raining outside, so all the lads were just bored. He's walked past, and he's walked up to one of the girls. I mean, you can't really do this anymore. He walked up to one of the girls and said, "Excuse me, lass, would you mind not shagging any of my players? We've got a really big game in the morning." We're all going, "Was that Bobby Robson?" And my mate, who's had polio, who's run up to him with crutches, and he goes, "Son, before I say anything, I can't play you. You've not been working on your speed." Right? And I just thought, you very funny fucker. And we got in the lift in the morning going down, and it had rained all night, and it was just me and Bobby. And I said, so what do you think about Glenda managing England? He goes, could do a good job. Don't really know. The jury's out. I said, just before I let you go, Bobby. He goes, yes, son. I went, it's been raining all night, long studs. He went, dickhead. Yeah, but he was
a
very
breath fresh
funny.
air. Yeah, he came in after Ruud Gullit, so Alan wasn't playing, I wasn't playing, Duncan Ferguson wasn't playing, a lot of us weren't playing when he came back into the fold. But he was just brilliant. He got all the lads laughing again.
But mainly because he didn't know their names.
Yeah, half the time I think half the time he put it on, half the time he didn't know the names. Yeah, it was a clever bugger, because it was like playing for your it's like playing for your granddad. You couldn't get angry at him. If he had a go at you, it's my granddad having a go. I can't. I think he was 66 when he came to us. But it just fun. It just made he brought this thing in where you couldn't leave the dining room, so we were at lunch together. And that was sort of start a meal and then afters. And he put this thing on that we all eat together. He said no one can leave until he finishes. So we have the start. The lads just want to get home. They're just they're finished. And he's just on his starter. And the lads are just now banging on tables like this. And he's just eating his soup and like that. But lovely soup this. And they'd eat his soup and it's going down his chin. He'd wipe his chin and then he'd go and get his main meal, and he's eating his main meal, and the lads are just banging like and he just eat away, and it's all running down. Honestly, it was hilarious, and he knew what he was doing. Who's
the best player you've ever played with or against? Because it's hard not to mention now, because you're still like the number one striker, right? So, but you don't want to give it to your mate.
No, do it for no. But he is probably the best centre forward I've ever played with.
But he's right up there with Ian Wright, isn't he?
As much as I love Wright, he wasn't Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
Wright was a great player. The time that I was playing for England, we had some unbelievable strikers. Some of the strikers that hardly got any caps was. Yeah, Wright didn't get as many as he should because of the players that were in front of him. So
it was madness. Yeah.
Gazza was probably the best player I played with at England. He was unbelievable player. Frighteningly good, brilliant.
And pissed most of the time. And how do you perform at that level?
I think he performed. Sometimes he performed better playing pissed.
Release the beast.
Well, yeah, that was just personality. That's what he was. If you kept him, everyone says he went Man United under Alex Ferguson. Would he have been better? No, he wouldn't. Terry knew how to handle him, but you couldn't sort of like cage him. He'd just rebel against it. Just had unbelievable natural talent.
That was a whole era. I'd say Terry Venables absolutely rinsing Crystal Palace and Ron Notes. It was just literally, that football back then was the Wild West. Whereas now they're trying to make football slightly more sophisticated. I love the idea of VAR in principle. It's a definitive rule. It's supposed to be a definitive rule. Can we just let the computer say yes or no?
I'm with you. I like VAR, but they've now gone. It's gone too far. So VAR was meant to come in, as far as I'm aware, that anything that was clear and obvious, an obvious error, so anything that was totally obvious that the referee had missed, that was to correct it. Now, if you have to look at VAR 5, 6, 7 times. It's not clear and obvious.
6 minutes at the weekend.
It's not clear and obvious. So go with the referee. Go with what he's. They should definitely have ex-players up there. And I know all the fucking referees, because they know the laws, say no, but they don't know the game. So they know the laws, but they don't know the game. So they don't know if someone's cheating. And basically, if they're diving, they don't know that. So an ex-player
would know.
Yeah. So I'm not saying replace him with you, but you have them as well. You have them up there as well. So never say no. That's fucking rubbish. And referees hate it because they think they know the laws, but they've never played the game.
They just want it.
But they're not. You have to have played the game to know what people are doing. So some of these.
It's a thankless task being a football referee, but it's a professional job, so you can get it right.
Well, yeah, exactly. And VAR's meant to help you, but I don't think it's helping referees. I think that they're stopping the game for ridiculous things now.
It's the time that it just loses momentum.
Yeah, listen, I'd feel sorry for a youngster coming through now and he thinks he's scored a goal. He's got to wait. He can't run and jump in the crowd.
I'd have my shirt off.
Embarrassing, yeah. Embarrassing. So if they'd done it how it should have been done originally, and they get ex-players helping them, which they should do, but they're just so fucking stubborn not to, I think it'd still be a good weapon for.
Right, we're going to go through some quick ones here. Sin bins for yellow cards.
Yeah, I like it.
I think it'd be so much fun for the game. It's such an improvement. 10 minutes. That's 10 minutes is a long time for
Well,
yellow
it's-
cards.
yeah.
But do you know what? It stopped people diving or just, or being a bit fruity.
Yeah, no, I think
It's a proper
I think
punishment.
it's something they've looked at for many, many years, and I think it's something that they have it in rugby, don't they? And I
I think it's fair.
yeah, and I think it's a good idea. It's probably such a good idea that the fucking English football won't have it.
It was literally, I'm sounding like such a racist today, but have we got a female lead at the FA? I mean, I don't go down that route, but right. There's something else. Sports washing. So we've got all this Dubai and Qatari money in the game at the moment. Chelsea are putting players out everywhere, getting them off our balance sheet, but actually, they were going to come back and freeze and shit. It's just, I just don't like the fact that there is so much money in football. Now, I think every generation thinks, oh my God, the players are paid an absolute fortune these days. But at some point, you got to stop.
Listen,
Haaland is like £1 million.
I played in the year with
a week.
John Barnes, and he got 10 grand a week. And I remember saying, actually, it was all the pundits and the people. Football can't sustain this. They cannot sustain this. You got 12-year-olds on 10 grand a week. It's absolutely gone mad. I mean, people. I don't understand the financial fair play. I don't get it. So I'm very difficult. For me to comment on financial fair play is very difficult. But I don't understand all the rules. But I just think if you, when you fucking had all your money and fucking lost it. You're probably better off buying a football club then. But if you
I nearly did.
No, but exactly. So if you wanted, but then if you wanted
Northampton Town, what a club that could be these days.
Could have been up there in the Premier League if you'd have got them, or fucking extinction. I'm not sure which way you'd have took them. But I just think if someone like who makes $1 billion at their business and they want to buy the local football club, if they want to plough 10, 20 million in, as long as they're not putting any debt on the club, they should be able to do that. If they're putting debt on the club, it's a different matter. So as long as that club's better off when they leave, so if they say, fuck it, I'm bored, as long as they put the money in that covers all what they've done, no problem. That's a gift to the club, and that should be, for me, it should be allowed.
As long as all the clubs realise that they're taking it so seriously now, being a business, it's an entertainment. Yeah. It's supposed to be fun. And although it absolutely fucking pains me, Spurs play some pretty interesting football, and they're having a go.
I love their manager. Do you know what? He's a breath of fresh air because he just says what he thinks. He's brilliant. I'm copying Pep. Yeah. Fucking brilliant. I love it.
Brilliant.
No
where's he from? Because he sounds like he's from
Australia. He's an
Oh,
Aussie.
Is he?
And when he went to Celtic, everyone went, "What the fuck we got this Aussie in for?" And he won the treble.
Yeah.
And everyone went, "We got the Spurs. What the fuck we got this Aussie? He's only done it in Scottish football." He's
Absolutely smashed it.
brilliant. And don't forget they've lost Harry Kane.
Harry,
Exactly. Chelsea should have bought him.
They wouldn't sell him to us. They wouldn't sell him to us.
Money. They haven't enough money.
Oh, if there's
all the
enough
rubbish. The money. They've got £200 million players. If they'd offered 200 million,
all right,
they would have sold it.
We got
Kirutu.
We're going to just finish on this football thing before we do alphabet soup. I don't see why Lionel Messi won the Ballon d'Or.
Because he's the best player in the world.
Yeah, but he's playing in America, so he's playing against left-footed wrong'uns.
Well, but you still got whatever league you play in, you still
women,
got to score.
Referees, the left-footed. No wonder I didn't get on there.
I just think he's just him and Ronaldo have taken football to a ridiculous level. And you wonder the people that are coming through. We're so lucky to be able to see them two players playing against each other.
Right? How good? What's his name? English guy just gone.
Bellingham.
Yeah, right.
Brilliant.
How good?
It could be anything he wants to be him. I mean, he's remarkably,
unbelievably good.
Unbelievable. He's only 20 years old. They've still got to find.
I've got pants holder on
drink
that.
drugs and
yeah, that'll sort it right out. Yeah,
he seems like it. I mean, he comes from a pretty good.
And do you know what? And he speaks really well. He's articulate.
He seems like he's got his head on his shoulders.
So Saka again just finished his A levels and degree before he carried on.
Yeah.
After that.
And you hope if they keep their, because it's going to be inundated with ridiculous amounts of money. I mean, stupid amounts of money that hopefully he's got the infrastructure to cope with that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Boom, boom. And thank you to all at CapEx. That's Dan Cap's FX business. Took ages to come up with that name, OVS. Managing your foreign currency at the bank is a mug's game. Done right, it can be an additional profit centre. CapEx is Dan Cap's Anco. Great guy, scratch golfer, moneymaker extraordinaire. The one I choose personally. Links in the normal show notes. Dan, see you on a golf course soon.
Can we play Alphabet Soup? Are you going to get in front of the stage for me? Rob, it's almost like you've done a bit of telly.
Is this like the telly, is it?
Yeah. Have you done much commentary recently?
No, I don't do it anymore, mate. It's too woke for me.
You don't. Right.
Can't say what I want.
Okay. Really?
But you can't.
Well, I've had a good go today. So.
Oh, yeah, you're all right, yeah, but no.
Yes, it's the white haired amongst us. Right, give this a spin.
What am I doing here?
Just spin it. Not that hard. Jay.
Never had a Jay.
Right, so we need to now to come up. Oh, you're not going to give me the book?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Literally. Well, you're out of practice.
It's never had a J, that's why I've got to say sorry.
Have you done this before?
Yeah.
Used to? No?
Yeah. Well, surprisingly, I pay for him. Right. I wrote some shit J's. Right, so the idea is that we come up with a J. I can suggest a few things.
Right. What?
That might just trigger a story or something you want to mention, or a J that comes up to you. So journey. So it could be, is there a funny story about getting somewhere that took forever and never got there, or just about got there, or a life journey, or a lesson you learned in your journey. It could be joking. So what it was like in the dressing rooms and having players there that created that atmos and energy around them, or the alternative is people just fucking mood hoovers and just destroyed that. Or jam today. So do you think there's an element of, in terms of football, that a lot of people are looking at, you know, themselves making money today and just, you know, fuck football for the future, it's all about me right here, right now?
Well, football's a team
example.
game, but it's also a very, you know, individual game as well, because you know, when I was at Newcastle, new players coming in, you know they're going to compete with you, but you don't know they're your teammates. So football's a strange. Most team games are strange because there's always someone going to try and replace you, and you have to, you know, so you have to keep on top of your game as much as you got to like them. You've also got to think you're better than them, and that's the thing. I remember Kevin saying to me, I'm going to buy loads of players on this journey, and said it's up to you to keep up. And some people could and some people couldn't. I preferred playing. I found I was better playing with better players. But some people, you know, we had Steve Guppy who went on to play for England and Celtic, but the way we trained, he couldn't cope with it. We trained the way we played. We didn't do any set plays. We had it with our team. We'd done 8-a-sides, but it was rapid. It was rapid.
Do you remember a young lad called Graham Paxton? I think I've told you this story. So he went to Newcastle and he was a centre back, and he was training. And Alan loved playing against him because Alan said he was as good as anybody, and he was really, really fast. He said, if I can beat him, and Alan used to go for him 2-footed all the time. He just literally, Alan just didn't know. He was either on or off. There was no dimmer switch. And
that's the way we trained. I mean, we got more injuries training than we did in games because it was competitive. It was none of this, you know, stopping it. No, we're playing till someone wins, and you know, we're playing.
So Paco was he ended up he went to I think it was Kenny's first signing at Newcastle. Randomly,
was he?
He played in a Champions League game but didn't play in any other games. He went out on loan to Brentford, broke his back, went back to school, went to Cambridge, came to work for me, started a business, but he was running down the touchline on this Champions League game.
And now he's a pisshead, lost all his money.
Yes, they said recruitment. yes, recruitment. 101. He was running down the touchline with John Barnes, and apparently Toonami were going, you fat bastard. That's my best Geordie. Which and he turned around, just giggled, and they went, who the fucking hell are you?
I don't remember him. I don't remember him, but he must. Obviously, I was there, so I just don't.
You were injured, and he was coming back from this back thing,
Oh, right,
and
okay.
you trained with him for ages. And he just said you were very, very, very generous and very kind to him, and very motivational.
There you go. See.
Yeah.
I'm
So
that sort of guy.
Yeah. Only when I remind you of it. Tell us about have you got a favourite funny story about football that just kind of epitomises the dressing room or the lads' culture?
Yeah, again, we had a great dressing room at the time. Even when Kenny was there, all the lads.
Even when Kenny was there.
Well, we did, yeah, because it brought different players in, but we still had a great, fantastic team spirit. We always did. And we always used to play jokes on each other all the time, and it's how people take the jokes, and it's how. But in those days, the jokes were near the mark. But I remember we bought a lad called Des Hamilton, great lad from Bradford, right wing back or something. Desi Hamilton, great. Desi, we used to call him Desi Hamilton, and he's a young lad, came from Bradford, but played wing back. But so he signed, and I remember him signing. And sort of like the lads all welcomed him in, and I was injured at the time, and then Alan Shearer came in to train, and he had a new white top and by Armani or Versace, and he had blue stripe down it, but it looks like an England top, and so it looked like an England top.
Oh.
So he's gone out train, I'm injured, and Des Hamilton's come in. All right, Des, you okay? Yeah, no problem. So I got Alan's top off the side, and I said to Des, can you just sign this England top for us? All the lads. No. Yeah, I still regret it a little bit now.
No.
So Des has signed it, and I've sort of put it back on the peg. So So Al's came in after training, and he's dancing around. He went, "Who the fucking hell did this?" And I went, "Well, it says Des Hamilton on there." So, so Alan's only reprimand of anybody. So it's the only thing he used to do. He didn't have much. He used to cut people's clothes up. So that's what he did. So what he'd do is cut your jeans all the way up here, cut your trainers, cut your top. And I just remember Des walking out the training ground looking like Robinson Crusoe, and that was his introduction to our team. So,
did you have songs to sing? So introduction songs?
No, we never used to do it. We never done it in those days.
What would you sing if I made you sing a song now?
What would I sing?
Cue it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Alan's got his sort of like songs.
He's got a repertoire.
Sex on Fire and Lionel Richie. He sings.
Really?
Yeah. If them two are gone, he's finished. So I don't know.
Your sex is on fire.
Yeah. So he knows that one off by heart. He knows Lionel Richie all night long. There is two to go to sort of thing. So
that's funny.
Big shout out to all Hapstar, Darren, Adam, Dan, and of course Stinkerbell. Now, what is happiness to you? Imagine Hapstar being a unique tool that helps staff be happier, a genuine and proven scientific approach to compel staff to stay longer, get to that magic third year. And we all know happy people make you money. It's absolutely fucking brilliant as a tool. You've got to check it out. It's a game changer. Smile and dial, Hapstar. It's emotional.
Should we get Desert Island? So this is our quickfire round where we get to know a little bit more about the person behind the legend. And you're brilliant, by the way. Thank you very much for doing this. Right, so it's kind of, you can have one of each one of these things. So one wish.
One wish. The wish I always have is for my kids to be really happy. That's what I always wish for. Sounds boring, sounds totally, but my family are sort of like my mum and dad are still alive. They're 80 odd now. But my wish is that if my kids are happy, then I'm happy, really.
Or England win the World Cup. Family, England, daddy or chips. Yeah. Right, one prediction.
England will win the World Cup. There you go.
But this time round?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Got Bellingham, Rice. Those two. That's the best midfielder.
Beckman has stepped up again, hasn't he?
Yeah, Harry Kane. I think we got Foden.
What happened to Mason Mount?
He went to Man United, didn't he?
Okay. If we beat them, I love it.
I just think we've got a great chance. We've got a great chance of doing something with the team we've got coming. Yeah.
And it's still just getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger.
It is, yeah. And as I say, Bellingham, we probably got the best player in the world. If he's not that now,
he's about to
he ain't far off. He's only 20.
What's the best moment you've ever had in life? Okay, don't say family and kids.
My best moment was it was either making my debut for England. I dreamed of it when I was a kid.
Who made the call?
Terry, in those days, Keegan told me that I was in the squad. So he'd come and tell you, listen, you're in the England squad. He was campaigning for me. Keegan was campaigning for me to get it for a couple of months. The player I had to replace was David Platt because he was the England captain. So that was what I had to do. So
one goal against Belgium.
Yeah, that's what I said. No, listen, he was technically a fantastic player. He used to do what I did and got in the box, scored goals.
You were so much better. he just got lucky. One do-over. So one thing in life you could do, if you could do it differently, you'd take a different path.
I wouldn't have left Newcastle when I left. I mean, I was there 10 years, left at 36. And I asked for a new contract sort of thing, and I'd been there 10 years and they were farting around over whether they would give me another year. I didn't want any more money. I just wanted to stay another year.
I was quite pleased you left, actually.
I know, yeah. I mean, some people persuaded me to leave.
So some agents come in and left. Said,
So I probably wish I would have stayed on for another year. I might have stayed in the North East.
I'll tell John that.
Yeah, could you?
Yeah, we'll see how that goes later.
He told me to leave.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But one guilty pleasure.
Chocolate.
Oh, really?
Whole nut, Cadbury's whole nut. I got if the missus or my kids buy it, it's gone.
Do you have it daily?
It's gone. Yeah, it's gone. I tell her not to buy it because it's all right when I was playing. I could get away with it, but
the thing is, mate, you're a few quid. They sell it in most of the shops. One person you wish you could have or could meet.
I wish I could have met Michael Jackson. And I was so close to doing it because I was very good friends, would you believe, with David Guest. That's a weird thing. I just retired and I was at a game. It was an Arsenal game playing Newcastle at St James's Park. I was in a restaurant with John Beresford. And there were about 10 of us in this restaurant. It was closed about 12 o'clock, and David Guest walks in with a big bodyguard with him, who we knew because he was a Geordie. Restaurant was closed, and I said, "Oh, come and sit with us," sort of thing. And he came down, and I always thought he was a strange, weird guy. Sat with. I got on so well with him, and he just said, "Can I bring you tomorrow and meet at the game?" And I said, "Yeah, no problem. Give me a call." And then we had this relationship went on for 10 years until he died.
He made it to the jungle.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was. But I just had nights out with him where he was sort of like, and he'd done these charity things. But he was great.
Why MJ?
Just because of his music. I'd want to know if all the rumours were true or not.
It's funny because Gerald Ratner said he wanted to meet Hitler and just say like, what's all that about them?
Well, it's strange. Yeah, I'd want to know. It's strange what people want to know. And I idolised him as a kid growing up. But I've ever been at one concert in my life, and it was Michael Jackson's Bad concert years and years ago. I thought his music was brilliant.
Who's bad? No,
exactly.
No.
You.
Yeah. One luxury item or thing that you can't do without.
My phone. Yeah, I have my phone everywhere.
It's just.
Yeah, my missus goes mad about it. I constantly.
Are you on YouTube and Insta all the time?
Yeah, Instagram. Yeah, Twitter, or what's called X now, isn't it? But I don't know why it's called X.
We haven't used our RDLC account now on Twitter or X for so many years, but now someone has hijacked it and he's just selling sort of these sort of pop-up shares of units on Bitcoin. It's like, well, good on them. But people say, "Is this got anything to do with you?" I went, "No." Sounds brilliant.
It sounds
you
like
should do it.
It sounds like you're very diverse, like you.
Right, and one mantra that you live by.
Listen, I'm not posh like you. I'm not related to the royal family. So, what's mantra?
It's a flat fish with a big sting. And
it's all one of those in Barbados at the cliff.
So one like a philosophy so I always say be owed a favour, not a fiver.
Oh, right.
Right, so if I can do anyone a favour, I'll just.
Well, mine would be, and it's live and let live, really, because this woke society we live in at the moment is driving me mad. And I think if people were honest, it's driving loads of people. People seem to get insulted when it's not even against them. Sort of they get insulted for somebody else. You know what I mean? If someone says something, if I say something to you, like you fat bearded bald twat. You know what I mean? Someone else.
Lovely you didn't use the C word. It was so on the tip of your tongue.
It was.
Even the edited version was quite savage.
Somebody could say, "Oh, you can't say that to him. That's terrible."
Fat cunt. There we go. There we go.
And then somebody would say, "Oh, you can't say that to him. That's fucking outrageous."
Yeah,
but, you know what I mean? And that's,
just say he's rotund cunt.
So I just think, comedy these days. I love comedy, and I love Ricky Gervais because he don't give a fuck. He will take the piss out of everybody, and I think and he don't give a fuck because he's not going to be cancelled because he's so big they can't cancel him. He knows that, and he does not give a fuck, and I like that.
I like that as well. With the banter, especially if we come from football and being around lads. It's the banter is absolutely relentless.
At the end of the day, they're jokes.
Don't show any weakness because they will dive in.
But it's a joke, so it's a joke. It's not serious. It's a joke, And
I think it's
we're getting worse and worse and worse than that. Until comedy, no one can take the piss out of anything,
No, I totally agree.
We love Gary Spell because it pays the bills. Business consulting, mentoring, growth coaching, and the ultimate recruitment. They're delivered by a genius and sup handsome legend who brings the fun and smirk to the business of work. It's me. Links in the normal show notes as ever. Call me.
Should we have a couple of emergency questions and then I'll get... right. 1 to 11. Choose any number.
7.
I should have numbered them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your biggest fear?
Oh God, my biggest fear. My biggest fear is probably death of my family. Really, my parents, as I said, they're still here. Anybody close to me in my family. I think as you're getting older, I hear more and more about death. And we joked about about Matthew Perry of Friends. Listen, I watch Friends every single day. I mean, even now, Friends is on. It makes me.
It's comfy.
Yeah, it's the jokes are funny. I mean, like they never get away with it today. Some of the jokes are near them, but it's comedy, and it's so sort of like and it seems to be more and more as you get older and older, more and more people. I got more funerals than I do weddings now.
I've got a friend of mine. His mum's been really, really poorly. Don't want to bring the mood down, right? Really, really, really poorly. I get a phone call from one of his other best mates and says some sad news about this guy. Because his father had an aneurysm while he's putting down his dog, and over the course of 4 days, he's gone. And he was the carer for his mum. And it's just one of those that live every day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Live every day.
Enjoy every day.
Live every moment you can.
I never look too
seize
far
the
into the future. I sort of like this.
Right. You are intellectual, so I'm going to throw this at you. What's the most interesting life fact you know?
Interesting life fact I know. Most interesting life fact I know.
I can't get over maggots turning into flies, right? The whole chrysalis thing. I don't understand that. And how butterflies come from moths, and that's. I just think that's a bit weird.
Yeah, it's weird. What's the difference between a moth and a butterfly? Where do they come from? It's all. I never think too deeply about these.
The difference between a moth and a butterfly is about 4 letters on Scrabble.
I never think of. I mean, my daughter-in-law doesn't think dinosaurs existed, so.
But she doesn't mind filling a car up with petrol.
Yeah, she doesn't believe in dinosaurs because it's not real. So there are fossils and stuff. But.
Now, is there any question I haven't asked you that I should ask you?
How much money did I make you when you sold me from Newcastle to Derby?
Great question. Great. We'll have an emergency alarm for this. Get a chip with Goldsmith.
How much did I lose?
Did it come from your piece?
It always comes from the player, doesn't it? Always.
He's filling for time here, Rob. He's filling for time.
Hey, look. Hey?
I know the answer that Sil and John told me.
We'll find out from John, won't we?
Yeah.
So what made you go into that?
260.
What made you go into that? 260. See, fuck, I could have had 260. You gave me 250 grand. 10 grand would have been enough for you. For the fucking thing you've done. Fuck all.
Personally, I said you shouldn't have left.
Then you saw I was going to make you 260.
You are 36. You're at the end of your career. Take the tickle, son. As they wheel him on for the second half. Do you know what? It was pitched to me as a bit of fun. So John was at the end of his cricket career. Yeah. And he and Sil had a relationship, and they were talking about the fact that Sil knew a lot of people. And I thought, do you know what?
Be easy.
Now, the thing that I got out of it was one of the businesses where I lost the least money.
There you go.
It washed its face.
Just thanks to me, really.
It was, yeah. And Dexter Blackstop. yeah. But the thing that was the most fun out of it, I got to hang out with people like you. I got to meet some really cool people. Life didn't owe you a career. You went out and worked, and you've got a brilliant head on your shoulders, and you're such a genuinely lofty bloke. And you take the piss out of me relentlessly, but you do it with a smile on your face.
Always.
So you'll generally get away with it. I got a lot of shirts.
Yeah, you did.
I dig it. And you know what? So I got all those shirts, got them all framed. And then when they bought my house, I kept all the Chelsea stuff, and the guy said, "Can I buy all this? All the and nothing really meant anything to me." So I said, "All right."
Fucking nice, isn't it? So my shirt, the fucking I give you, fucking the kindness of my heart, fucked off.
Oh yeah, I gave that away. But no, I got the England ones I kept. But I sold it all. He goes, "Give us no more." I went 57 grand. So actually, he made me 300 grand. So thank you very much, mate. Because I got that shit for free, except for a bit of framing. This has been really good fun. We always let our guests just sign off. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for making it down here today. Love you dearly, brother. What is something you'd like to say just to finish off today?
Well, listen, I haven't seen you for a good long time, mate.
It's been ages, isn't it?
I remember you in the old days. You haven't changed much. I arrived here and you're drinking a glass of wine, so at 10 in the morning, which is the old Gary that I knew. So,
for fuck's sake, that needs an edit.
do not edit that out, by the way. It's good to see you again, and it's an absolute pleasure to do it for you, mate. Not a problem.
Brilliant. Anything I do for you, be an owed a favour, not a fiver, and I'll see you at Wrexham one day soon. Get me down there.
Yeah, we will.
Right, brilliant. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, James, for producing everything. See you soon.